Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Hello and welcome to Season 5 of Lessons in Marketing Excellence. I'm Pavni Mittal. As you can see, we're not at any campus but are in our studios, and that's because today is our wildcard round where 3 of the top teams will move to the semi-finals to battle it out with the teams that have already qualified from the 12 campus rounds. Now, due to the tremendous response we've got over the last 4 years, the wildcard round this year was open to any B school that wished to take a shot at Lyme. We got a record 213 entries from management schools across India, and after an exhaustive selection process, 9 teams were shortlisted to participate today. And they are VGSOM IIT Bombay, Nasir Munji Institute of Management Studies, Welingkar Institute of Management Development and Research, IFT Delhi, MDI Gurgaon, Mudra Institute of Communications Ahmedabad, VGSOM IIT Kharagpur, and IIM Ranchi.
Feels actually a bit numb initially because all of us couldn't believe that we were shortlisted for Lyme. It was a very different feeling compared to, we have tried for other competitions also, we have got shortlisted in that, but Lyme is something else.
So this somehow gives us the motivation to, apply all our brains into coming up with something wacky or something which, these guys might not have heard of.
The biggest challenge that we faced was understanding the product and what are its value propositions. As we were not quite familiar with the TIGI, which was quite diverse, the one was for youngsters and the other one was for the ladies belonging to 35 to 50 years of age group. So the first most important was what they are thinking, how they behave, understanding our TIGI.
This is an industry where people are using stuff from the industry but are still unaware about the industry. And also getting information was extremely difficult because it is a growing market but it's not yet there. So yes, it was extremely challenging to understand how people think. Indian mentality has always been unique. So to understand that unique mentality, yes, that was the biggest challenge.
The 9 wildcard teams were selected based on the marketing solution they offered for the case study from Hindustan Unilever's professional hair products brand TIGI. Let's take a look at what today's challenge is all about. The professional products market, in which brands sell exclusively to salons, is estimated at 850 crore rupees, and it's growing at 30% year on year. In 2009, TIGI joined hands with FMCG global powerhouse Unilever and was launched in India by Hindustan Unilever. The category is dominated by L'Oreal, which has a 65% market share, along with Kerastase, Wella and Schwarzkopf. The challenge for our wildcard teams today is to map the placement, promotion and pricing strategies to successfully establish TIGI in the Indian market. Devise a plan to keep the primary target group, that's the hairstylists, happy, convert TIGI's core strength, styling, into a fruitful campaign and create a strategy to generate buzz and talkability around the brand.
So TIGI is a young, quirky, cool brand. And hence the case study is around ensuring that we manage to establish TIGI with that kind of imagery, and especially the placement within the kind of salons, the kind of pricing and the promotions need to ensure that that kind of imagery sort of can be settled down in the market. The second big expectation is to come up with out-of-box suggestions on how to really create a buzz in the industry on the shoestring budget that this brand would be operating on.
With that, it's time for a short break. On the other side, the 9 teams make their presentations and we find out which 3 qualify for the semi-finals. That's up in a bit. Welcome back. You're watching Lyme Season 5, the wildcard round. The 9 teams that have qualified from B schools across the country are vying for 3 spots in the semi-finals. But before we go to their presentations, let's meet our jury. From CNBC TV18, I have Anant Rangaswamy. We have Shivam Puri, who is the business head of professional products business at HUL, and Pushkaraj Shenai, who is the CEO of Lakme Lever from Hindustan Unilever.
We propose to have a campaign called Dare to Style.
The first team, SJM-SOM IIT Bombay, proposed various ideas to the jury, including Dare to Style, a styling and fashion competition for college students. This would enable promoting TIGI locally by introducing everyone is a celebrity. The winners of the competition would be promoted on hoardings. Another idea the team put forth was to host a TIGI hairstylist conclave across India.
Apart from engaging them through fashion shows and hairstyle shows, we'll handle them in a way a pharma company handles a doctor. We plan to hold the first hairstyle conclave in India under the umbrella of TIGI and HUL, which will have top hairstylists from all over India. It will focus on international trends in hairstyling and will have an award for the hairstylist of the year and also incorporate their feedbacks about TIGI. This conclave will also give an opportunity for the winners of Dare to Style and Rediscover Yourself to earn an internship under Anthony Maslow.
This is a product by hairdressers for hairdressers. That positioning is quite clear, right? Also in the category, the hairdressers are the biggest driver of preference. How much time and effort have you invested in understanding hairdressers? Because if I look at the numbers, you've spoken to very few. And also, what's the understanding of hairdresser as a person, as a professional, is not very clear.
We went to Lakme, we went to Juice, we went to Enric. And the core idea in our presentation was that we will have a competition where we will include students and the hairstylists. And
no, that's quite clear.
Okay.
What's your understanding of the hairdresser?
Sure. They said that we can push a brand, but up to a certain limit. If we keep persuading the customer that, okay, use this, our credibility also goes down. Sure. So if they are aware of the brand and if they know that this is a premium brand, then our job is easy. So TIGI is a good product, we know that. The quality is good. But we can't push because a customer who is already acquainted with a L'Oreal will not go for a 300, 400 premium and will take the TIGI product. So they say that we can push this, we know this product is good, but we can't persuade too much. So for this, we need to have the brand awareness of TIGI.
The key drivers of the hair salon segment are...
The team from Nasir Monji Institute of Management Studies or NMIMS proposed two variant target groups for the two products, Bedhead and S-Factor.
We realized that the explorers are our target for Bedhead and the strategists are our target for S-Factor. Our strategy is to target the explorers because there's a greater possibility of introducing trials. They can help in buzz creation. There is a possibility they might shift to S-Factor after they embark upon their professional lives. We can also target stylists as they are the key influencers.
Their recommendations were to target the stylists, the key influencers, launching an annual magazine to define trends for the season, launch a star stylist program to recognize and promote stylists, and a fashion show targeting the youth to create a buzz around the brand.
Within the social circle.
What is the pricing strategy that you recommend for the brand? I did not see a mention of that anywhere. In fact, I saw it was quite generic. It was a repetition of what was given in the case.
So actually, when we talk about TIGI, we're talking about two brands over here, the S-Factor and the Bedhead. So the main competitor for TIGI right now in the market is L'Oreal for the mid segment and Kérastase for the upper segment. So we believe the S-Factor should be priced as close as possible to Kérastase.
Lower, higher, same?
I think the same pricing will be fine.
And for Bedhead?
Right now, moreover, sir, we did not touch on the prices. We saw the products in juice and we got to know the prices of the products. And we see that our TIGI is basically the TIGI who goes to shop in stores like Zara, Mango, Promod, etc. So they would invest in styling because styling is something which is coming up. Coming up a lot these days.
So my question is, what is the pricing you propose for Bedhead?
As we said, X-Factor will be priced as close as possible to Kérastase and Bedhead will be close to L'Oreal Professional.
With 298 consumers through
the team from Welingkar said low brand awareness, tie-ups and other brands and unavailability of TIGI colours in India were its major barriers.
To overcome these issues, we categorize salons based on price, product range, size and location into luxury, premium and mass. TIGI should focus on the luxury and the premium segment salons. A clear price distinction should be maintained. Bedhead to be TIGI's premium range and S-Factor to be its luxury range.
The final campaign born to adorn.
Some of their solutions were Style Mafia campaign to break styling myths among the youth and generate buzz, campaign to generate awareness about S-Factor for women between the ages 30 and 45, and Born to Adorn campaign targeting the hairstylists.
Increase online visibility for the brand. In conclusion, we recommend execution of the three campaigns so that we can increase customer engagement, thereby increasing the brand's heart share and mind share, promote styling as a category, thus leveraging the TIGI styling range and other products, overall increase in sales, and establishing TIGI as a permanent and leading brand for professional hair products.
Do you think you've been resourceful, or you've sort of spent 3 times what your revenue in the first 3 years will be in the first year itself? That's the first question. The second question, between these two constituencies, one is the hairdresser, second the consumer. How are you splitting your spends?
Our total spends have come around 45 lakhs, wherein we spent about 10 lakhs on the stylists and the rest on the consumers.
Is that right? Is that the right thing to do, given that the stylist is the most important stakeholder in this whole chain?
So we believe that unless the people are aware about the brand, they're not going to ask for it. And if they don't ask for it, stylists are not going to think about it.
Does your research tell you that consumers will ask for this brand and then it will get purchased, or will stylists recommend and therefore consumers will buy?
So for first, the consumer has to ask for it, but so that it comes into the minds of the stylist. Once the stylist believes in the brand, he will recommend it. And if the stylist recommends it, there's a very high chance, a very high probability that the consumer would buy it.
According to Euromonitor 2012 report,
the next team presenting their solutions to the jury was the team from IIFT Delhi. Some of their recommendations were to engage with hairstylists, including workshops, incentives, national level hairstyling competitions using TIGI products, host a big entry event to create a buzz, roping in an international celebrity for the same.
Now to create a buzz around the brand. On similar line of successful campaigns like Dove Real Beauty and Nike Marathon, we suggest one big entry event for TIGI in India. Objective is to give a persona to TIGI and automatically rope in PR, creating a buzz in news and media. How? By bringing an icon who is young, international, and coming to India for the first time. Imagine Rihanna concert at Gateway of India, Rihanna singing in a yacht, and after every song, Anthony Muscolo himself changes her hairstyle.
So getting Rihanna and Anthony Muscolo to do this gig that you're talking about, you know how much money it will end up costing, and does it make sense? And one of the very clear aspects mentioned in the business case is that there are limited monies that we're talking about. So do you think that's the right thing to do when you are operating on wafer thin budgets? And
Sir, because of our initial understanding, we believe that high budget is around, for the normal conventional media, is around 100 crores. It goes 100 crores for TV and radio and etc. For this Rihanna thing, it's only a one-time investment, because TIGI is something new in India, and to push the product through hairstylists is not possible. We need something, a big bang entry to India, and that is one thing which would again follow a free, free coverage to news, TV and papers. So we think that
How much will Rihanna cost? Just to understand.
Just make a guess.
Not sure, but maybe 5 crore.
5 crore.
And Anthony?
Since we don't want to maybe monetarily say some price, because he is so closely associated with TIGI. So
why not get Shah Rukh Khan or Aishwarya Bachchan? Why do you want?
Why not get the Bachchan family?
Yeah, whole family will buy. Then
what we understand from TIGI is it is young, it should be international, and is coming first time to India. So we chose Rihanna, who is young yet matured, and she will be coming first time here. So to give an international look to the brand.
And also one reason for choosing Rihanna is when during our primary research, we researched about the bedhead customers, like young people and the women. There was one common link that was Rihanna, that they listened to Rihanna. So that was the main reason for us to choosing Rihanna.
With that, it's time for a very short break. On the other side, we have 5 more teams making their presentations to the jury, and we find out which 3 teams qualify to the semi-finals. That's up in a bit. Welcome back. You're watching the 5th season of Lessons in Marketing Excellence, and this is the Wildcard round. 5 more teams will present their solutions to the marketing challenge posed by Hindustan Unilever for their professional hair products brand TIGI. 3 of the 9 teams will move on from here to the semi-finals.
To understand our consumer, we conducted...
The team from MDI Gurgaon suggested the following solutions to the jury: launching a studio as well as high-end salons with a safe image for the product S Factor. For bedhead, salons with a creative image with a focus on styling.
At functional level. In promotions, we suggest micro-targeting, experiential, clutter-breaking and self-image resonance as principles. Now for bedhead, we recommend online campaigns like Share Your Wide Side, quirky fashion blogger PR, in-salon brand zone, and bedhead party nights at rock cafes. For S Factor, we recommend online blog to celebrate the elegant and successful, such as beyondbeauty.com.
For S Factor, consumer wants
Their other recommendations included TIGI kiosks at major airports, pricing to be made proportionate to the perceived brand image of bedhead. For S Factor, a proposed 15% increase in pricing, professional certification courses for hairstylists, and promotion of products at music festivals.
So we are not considering everybody under the sun.
Is this a category where you think you should use celebrities to endorse? And if you say yes, then who's the celebrity that you would pick for each of these brands?
We don't think it is necessary because self-image is very important for the executive segment, for the executive women, and for youth. They again that self-image, wherever the self-image quotient is higher, we don't think that celebrity plays that much of a role.
Okay, for S Factor, you recommended airports. What are the kind of wastage at airports? Do you have any idea of the cost of anything at an airport?
Yes, it is very, very much, and we tried to estimate it also, but we could not get the right. But it had a logic behind it that it would be only during the activation phase, like that is like 2 to 3 months, and this is only to dispense the trial packs. And trial packs we recommended like pink jewelry boxes.
So our marketing objective that we've come up with.
There were 2 teams shortlisted from Mudra Institute of Communications. The marketing objective of the first team, Hikers, worked around was brand salience needs to be built with both consumers and salons. Their primary solutions were creation of experiential properties for TIGI and creating a buzz around them through digital campaigning, Phonebooth, a quick style booth at campuses and events like NH7.
The value in pricing is something that we suggested as a pricing method because we are trying to keep it a premium product and we are also trying to maximize our profits. And the factors for selection of salons are as seen before you. It is that the salon should be highly visible. So in summary, we would like to build our brand salience for consumers and build salience for stylists as well. The pricing strategy is in tandem with that, and choosing a salon should also continue with that.
Now TIGI is a part of Unilever, right? So how are you leveraging the strength of Unilever in this launch?
Right, sir. So most of our activities, as you can see, are on a digital platform. So to rather you can say to cut costs, we are using the @Unilever handle on Twitter, right? That is one. We are using the Unilever channel on YouTube. So you don't have to buy a new channel.
So we're basically using the active audiences that are already available in the digital space to sell TIGI to them as well.
Talking about the market scenario of
our second team from MICA felt that TIGI must bridge the emotional gap between salon owners and the brand and hairdressers and the brand to gain more acceptance. Their key recommendations were connecting hand-picked hairstylists to the brand via workshops and seminars and integrating TIGI products in the process, experiential and digital campaigns, social networking mobile apps for hairstylists, special campaigns for men at pubs and clubs, and S Factor to be strategically promoted at boutiques and hotels.
Hair care report for the apprehensive Indian audience. The last part is about sustainability, about connecting the consumer to the consumer. The insight that we found was consumers seek conversation with people with similar hair type. No other brand has worked on this crucial insight, so TIGI can actually leverage it. We have to provide a non-traditional platform for the consumers to come together and interact. Apart from that, we have digital campaigns like hairstyles that revolutionize the word styling is back to keep the brand top floating.
So where do you think this brand should be launched?
So initially we thought
you mentioned hypermarkets and chemists.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what you will go
one
for?
of the insights that we got from a lot of even SECA people was that we might go to a saloon, we might have them we might actually get treated very well, pay amount for that, but we won't buy products from there because we think that they sell it at a higher rate. So even these people rely on hypermarkets to buy some of these products. So do it yourself category, I think they should be promoted through.
So did you read the case properly?
Yeah.
Yes. So the case very clearly mentions that salons is where this has to be introduced.
So we
and you have recommended hypermarkets and chemists.
No, sir. So we have to, in the saloon category, we have divided the saloon into 4 categories. One is branded. So among branded is high influence and low influence, and among the non-branded, they are high influence and low influence. So it's easier to stock our products in the non-branded high influence category.
You mentioned chemists.
Yeah. So
you mentioned hypermarkets.
Yeah.
Is that a salon?
We thought that for the do-it-yourself category products of S Factor and Bedhead, we could actually do it.
Based on our extensive primary research in a dozen salons,
The team from VGSOM IIT Kharagpur proposed the following recommendations to the jury. Bedhead to be promoted by associations with pubs, events and popular TV shows. TIGI kiosks at malls for customers to try various hairstyles and products, making them their own stylists. Key BTL activities to include movie association, social media and WhatsApp activations.
Since hairstylists are the key influencers in our business, their needs must be catered to in a very well-defined manner. The basic training to be provided free of cost and TIGI signature training tracks to be awarded based on regional level contests conducted for hairstylists to judge them on various parameters like their selling skills and the mastery in their art. To instill a sense of personal pride and boost the confidence of hairstylists, providing professional TIGI business cards, annual hairstylist conclave, creating online and offline communities for them would be the key game changers.
TIGI really stands for by hairdressers for hairdressers, right? They take hairdressing to a level of an art, and hairdressers therefore are artists. You have actually recommended things which which are against the spirit of the brand, right? So you are asking customers to be your own stylist by wearing wigs, right? So which actually trashes the whole idea of hairdressing as an art. You are distributing products along with or trial packs along with HUL products. That just completely sidelines hairdressers altogether.
So that is done in an initial phase only, when to engage the customer and to help the brand penetrate among them. Becoming your own hairstylist is an idea in which styling is portrayed as a category which is like you have to do it constantly. It's a variety is the spice of life, is what we said.
You're sidelining the hairdresser in that altogether.
I'll come to that. So in that, we are first engaging the customer very effectively so that he may become used to the brand, and in that, like, suppose he tries some styles with them, but he's not able to do it in a real fashion. He's just able to try some wigs and all. He's engaging himself. Now he gets incited. I should do this hairstyle actually. So he would go to the salon actually, and then he would follow that style.
We suggest 3 effective solutions.
Our final team among the wildcard entrants this year was the team from IIM Ranchi. Some of their recommendations included reality show for India's hairstylists, associating with Bacardi night parties and placing TIGI kiosks outside discos, associate with kitty parties in the city, and distribution of products to be directed through salons and later through an online portal with a self-styling app.
And give away S Factor gift vouchers. How do we engage the hairstylists? For hairdressers, by the hairdressers, being TIGI's philosophy, and hairstylists being the consumers' haircare doctors, these brand promoters should be engaged to the core by providing 1. Familiarization tours involving visits to TIGI production units, 2. Sales incentives, 3. Periodic training.
Going to premium salons is almost written in the case, right? It's a premium brand, you go to premium salons.
What criteria will you use to shortlist the premium salons in the country?
The average spend per customer is greater than 3,000, 4,000 rupees. That is the average premium salon that we are looking at. When we did our survey, we realized that there are about 30 odd salons in Delhi, Mumbai, 30 salons each in Delhi, Mumbai and Bangalore each. And in fact, interestingly, about 52% of the premium hairstyling business comes from these 2 cities, Delhi and Mumbai. So initially, we have targeted 8 top metro and tier 1 cities where there are premium salons where the average spend of consumer is higher.
With the 9 teams having presented to the jury panel, it was time to pick the winner. Only 3 teams out of the 9 would move on to the semi-finals. The 3 teams that qualify for the semi-finals, and this is in no particular order. Hikers from MICA. I'll just announce the result first. ChangeMasters, you've returned. That's MDI Gurgaon and Welingkar. That brings us to the end of the wildcard round. Next week, catch the 15 teams that have qualified for the semi-finals, crack a case study by Hindustan Unilever. Until then, thanks for watching.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.